There are still places in this world where human footsteps have rarely, if ever, touched, where time no longer follows the rules we know. In distant villages hidden behind veils of mist, only the wind and moss remain, clinging to rotting rooftops, slowly consumed by nature. Along deserted coastlines, shattered shipwrecks lie abandoned, as if someone left in haste, leaving behind a story never told. Deep beneath the earth, cold and winding caves stretch into the darkness, opening the way to a world that has never known light. These fragments are not random. They awaken a primal instinct, a feeling that something was deliberately hidden from human eyes. Skeleton Coast, a long stretch of coastline in northwestern Namibia, lies in a dry desert zone completely cut off from main transport networks, accessible only by specialized off-road vehicles or small aircraft. The landscape here is strikingly unusual, with wide, endless stretches of white sand. Endless white sands, meeting the cold, unforgiving ocean, where thick fog rises from the fierce collision of sea and desert air. For centuries, this has been a graveyard of ships, where hundreds were claimed by relentless currents and blinding mists, leaving rusted skeletons stranded on the shore. In 1942, a British vessel ran aground, its crew forced to cross the merciless desert. Most never returned. Among the sands lie bones of elephants, whales, and seals, silent witnesses to the harshness of this land. A brutal climate, complete isolation, and the relics of lost voyages have made the Skeleton Coast one of the most mysterious shorelines on Earth. Elsewhere, in Yangjul, Wetland Park unfolds like a living painting, created to protect untouched wetlands. And for decades, it has been a sanctuary for countless species. A tapestry of canals, lakes, reed beds, and green grasslands intertwines, forming a thriving ecosystem. Visitors can drift quietly through winding waterways and feel the ancient breath of the earth. Reeds as tall as 6 feet sway gently in the wind. Rare birds soar across the lake, carrying with them a rare, untouched freshness. In autumn, vast stretches of reeds turn golden, casting a brilliant hue over the still waters, a scene both vivid and serene. Far away in central Philippines, more than 200 cone-shaped hills rise from an isolated limestone plateau, stretching across about 20 square miles, nearly identical in spacing and height. Core samples reveal that the base rock was once an ancient seabed filled with fossilized corals, yet the uniform creation of identical slopes remains an unsolved mystery. In the dry season, the grass covering these hills turns deep brown, almost in unison, transforming the entire landscape in an instant, a biological phenomenon science has yet to explain. Strict regulations ban construction and restrict movement to designated paths, preserving the pristine form of this natural wonder. This perfect geometric repetition, synchronized color shift, and hidden underground voids have made the Chocolate Hills one of the most debated landforms in Southeast Asia. Kandavan lies in the volcanic mountain region of northwestern Iran, where cone-shaped rock formations were born from ancient eruptions thousands of years ago. Here, locals carved into the soft rock to create homes, storage chambers, and animal shelters, with continuous habitation tracing back to the 13th century. It remains one of the few rock settlements in the world still inhabited in daily life, rather than being turned entirely into tourist attractions or museum spaces. Visitors are restricted to designated viewing paths, and active rock homes remain closed to outsiders. Many inhabited structures have never been fully studied, leaving gaps in understanding about interior transformations and cultural evolution over the centuries. To this day, there is no definitive answer as to why this harsh landscape was chosen for permanent settlement, a question that continues to spark debate among scholars. Allora Caves lies in the semi-mountainous terrain of west-central India, carved deep into sheer basalt cliffs, creating an isolated space barely visible from a distance. The complex holds dozens of hand-cut rock caves, with its most astonishing feature being a monolithic temple carved from the top down, showing no signs of assembly or separate materials. Archaeologists estimate that millions of tons of rock were removed, yet no blueprints, advanced tools or construction records have ever been found. Although now open to visitors, certain areas remain off-limits to protect the original structure from damage. Inside, many symbolic carvings remain undeciphered, lacking reliable historical references for comparison. The precision of its construction and the complete absence of guiding documentation have made Allora a central subject in debates on ancient engineering. If this journey has sparked your curiosity and touched your heart, leave a comment about the place that fascinated you most. Don't forget to like and share so this story can reach more explorers, and subscribe so we can keep opening doors to the world's untold mysteries together. On a remote hillside, more than 90 pointed-roof stone tombs from the 14th century stand silent as witnesses of time. Each is a sealed family vault, preserving entire human bodies within. What puzzles archaeologists is that many of these bodies rest in wooden boats. Despite the absence of any rivers or lakes to justify their presence, no records from the time of construction remain, and no formal excavation has ever been conducted to reveal the number of bodies or the internal layout. All entrances stay sealed, partly due to visible cracks in the stone that suggest structural instability. The varying orientations and shapes of the tomb clusters spark debate over social hierarchy or shifts in burial traditions through generations. Far away, on an eastern coastal island of China, lies the village of Hutu, hidden among steep hills and dense forest. Road access is difficult and entirely dependent on the weather. In the 1980s, hundreds of fishing families lived here. But by the 1990s, they began to leave due to the lack of schools, healthcare, and reliable transport to the mainland. Within just a few years, the entire village was abandoned, then slowly swallowed by vines, moss, and wild plants, overtaking nearly every remaining house and structure. Today, there are no permanent residents. Visitors are only allowed entry during limited hours under geological safety and road access regulations. To this day, no scientific study has fully assessed the extent of structural decay or the potential for long-term restoration. The unusually rapid abandonment and total natural overgrowth have made Huan a rare case that existing records cannot fully explain. Far away, on a remote plain in southwestern France, Oridor Saglan stands isolated among deep forests and wide fields, far from any major highways. On June 10, 1944, a unit of the German military entered the village and killed nearly all residents, women and children included, in just a few hours, with no confirmed military reason. After the war, the French government chose not to rebuild, preserving the ruins exactly as they were, transforming the site into a war memorial, still untouched by time. Far away in Kazakhstan, Lake Candi lies in mountain isolation at an elevation of over 6,062 feet, reachable only by rough dirt roads and specialized vehicles. The lake was formed after a 1911 earthquake, when a mountain slope collapsed, blocking the water flow and creating a natural basin. Strangely, dozens of pine trees, submerged for more than a century, remain perfectly preserved, untouched by decay. Their tops pierce the surface, creating the illusion of a forest growing from the water. The lake's crystal clarity reveals the full length of these sunken giants beneath the surface. Far away, atop Mount Kellimutu, 3 volcanic crater lakes are famed for their unpredictable color shifts, ranging from blue, green and red to black, with no fixed pattern and no synchronicity, even though they lie only yards apart. Scientists suspect the phenomenon is tied to mineral oxidation and volcanic gas activity, yet no model has been able to accurately predict when the changes will occur. In 2013, sensors placed on the lake beds recorded irregular temperature and pressure fluctuations, but the data fell short of explaining the color divergence. Colonial-era folklore speaks of bubbling lake surfaces without wind, though modern research has yet to verify such accounts. Since 2015, sections along the lake rims have been closed due to sudden fissures and landslides, posing dangers to both visitors and research teams. Harsh conditions, elusive transformation mechanisms, and unanswered questions have made Kellimutu one of the most mysterious natural phenomena on Earth. Half a world away, the Blue Grotto is a flooded sea cave famed for its vivid azure glow, created when sunlight refracts through an underwater opening beneath the surface. This optical phenomenon occurs only under rare, precise conditions of tide level, time of day, and water clarity, making it impossible to replicate at will. Today, the Blue Grotto is open to tourists, yet closes entirely during high tide or rough seas, with diving strictly prohibited in deeper waters. It remains a place where the boundary between geological wonder and unverified legend continues to blur. If this journey has sparked your curiosity and touched your heart, leave a comment about the place that fascinated you most. Don't forget to like and share so this story can reach more explorers. And subscribe so we can keep opening doors to the world's untold mysteries together. Further north, in northwestern Poland, the Crooked Forest is an isolated woodland where hundreds of pine trees grow with strange curved bases, all bending in the same direction. These pine trees are thought to have been planted in the early 1930s, yet no definitive explanation exists for their uniform curved growth. The site is not under strict protection, so access is generally open, allowing independent surveys to take place without official oversight. Various hypotheses have been proposed, from early mechanical manipulation to climatic influence to genetic mutation, but none have been confirmed by scientific evidence. Ongoing interest from both scientists and the public underscores the site's unique value for studying plant morphology and ecological anomalies. Far to the southeast, Yakushima is an isolated forest on a volcanic island in southern Japan, home to a subtropical rainforest ecosystem entirely separated from the mainland. Formed by ancient volcanic activity, it shelters Japanese cedar trees that are thousands of years old. Most of the forest lies within a strictly protected reserve, with only a few limited routes open to minimize the impact of tourism and unsustainable research. Yakushima, a volcanic island in southern Japan, hides a subtropical rainforest and ancient cedars like Jomonsugi, with unusual biological structures still unexplained. Large parts remain unsurveyed, leaving gaps in data on microorganisms and soil cycles. Its long isolation raises questions about independent evolution in closed ecosystems. Half a world away, Angel Falls in Venezuela drops nearly 3,200 feet, with much of its water evaporating mid-air, creating a perpetual mist with no echo. Accessible only by small aircraft, motorboat, and challenging hikes. This vanishing in the sky phenomenon captivates scientists with the aerodynamic mysteries it holds. Angel Falls was first recorded in 1933 by an American pilot during an emergency landing. Yet, local inhabitants had known and avoided the site long before, for reasons still unclear. In 2009, geological radar surveys detected an abnormal void behind the cliff face, hinting at an inaccessible stone cavern. Ultrasonic readings revealed irregular echo patterns, fueling theories of hollow formations never before identified in ancient rock structures. In southwestern New Zealand, Fjordland is sealed off by sheer cliffs and deep fjords, making normal road or air access nearly impossible. The terrain was shaped when the last Ice Age glaciers retreated and the crust slowly rose, leaving cliffs nearly 1,000 feet high and fjord floors plunging even deeper. Most core zones are strictly controlled, allowing only hull-reinforced vessels and specialist teams into the narrow, windswept channels. Sonar surveys in Fjordland have shown depth changes of up to 100 feet in several central basins between expeditions, hinting at mobile sediment or unseen tectonic shifts. Recently, autonomous seismometers recorded low-frequency pulses from an unmapped underwater valley, sparking debate over hidden hydrodynamic caverns beneath the fjord floor. Half a world away, the Mogau Caves lie on the edge of the Gobi Desert, where the hot, arid climate and remote setting have preserved hundreds of stone caves for over 1,000 years. From the 4th to the 14th century, more than 700 caves were carved into cliff walls to store scriptures and depict daily life through statues and murals, forming one of the largest religious art systems in ancient Asia. In 1900, a sealed cave containing over 5,000 ancient texts was discovered. Yet the reason for storing such a vast collection remains unknown. The early 20th century removal of many original documents to foreign countries continues to fuel disputes over ownership and legality. Pamukkale is famed for its white travertine terraces and layered thermal pools formed by calcium carbonate-rich hot springs over millennia. Yet some central terraces have at times shifted to pale yellow or grey without any measurable change in water composition, a phenomenon still without scientific explanation. A 1999 geothermal study recorded irregular flow rates and temperatures in individual pools, following non-repeating cycles and hinting at an unknown subterranean drainage system. Nighttime satellite imagery once detected anomalous heat signatures along the eastern slope, in an area without visible surface water, but no formal geological surveys have been allowed. Since 2005, sections have been sealed due to widening fissures and subsidence in the limestone base. Despite its popularity, much of Pamukkale's geothermal network remains uncharted and unexplored. Considered one of the oldest ecosystems on Earth, Sossusvley's massive dunes move at an extremely slow pace, remaining virtually unchanged for millennia, a rare case of geomorphological stability. Climatologists still cannot fully explain how these formations retain their shape despite constant strong winds and extreme daily temperature swings. Nearby, Dead Vley holds tree remains over 900 years old that have not decayed, preserved by hyper-arid, microbially inactive conditions. Due to the ecosystem's fragility, several access routes to the core zone have been permanently closed since 2013 to prevent topographic disruption. Saucus Vley remains a strictly protected desert zone, with many of its physical properties excluded from standard desert system models. If this journey has sparked your curiosity and touched your heart, leave a comment about the place that fascinated you most. Don't forget to like and share so this story can reach more explorers. And subscribe so we can keep opening doors to the world's untold mysteries together. Encircled by towering walls, deep moats, and triple-layered gate control, the Forbidden City served as both an imperial palace and a civilian-restricted zone for over 500 years. Containing more than 8,700 chambers, hierarchy-coded corridors, and undisclosed underground passages, its architecture enforced absolute spatial and social control. In 1923, a mysterious fire destroyed over 100 halls in the western inner court. Soon after, rumours spread of eunuchs hiding gold and classified documents within the walls, yet the official investigation was abruptly halted. Several sectors remain completely off-limits, with no public records or imagery, leaving its true purposes in question. Today, though partially open to tourists, over 60% of its grounds remain restricted, preserving a half-visible, half-obscured aura that continues to stir curiosity and speculation. Since the 1990s, the Yemeni government has strictly limited research on Socotra after foreign scientific teams were caught removing samples without publishing their findings. The island holds deep limestone caves and rugged terrain, with many areas still unmapped due to sudden weather shifts and extreme inaccessibility. Some reports note temporary seawater discoloration in certain coastal inlets, though satellite imagery has yet to confirm it. In 2018, after a major cyclone, a highland about 1,600 feet above sea level revealed stone patterns resembling foundations. But all surveys were halted under the premise of environmental protection. Its extreme isolation, endemic biology, and tightly controlled access have made Socotra a sealed research zone that continues to stir curiosity and speculation. Son Doong is one of the largest cave systems ever discovered, yet much of its interior remains unexplored due to complex terrain, high air pressure, and unstable humidity disrupting measurement equipment. In 2019, divers found a submerged tunnel linking Son Doong to a deeper cave, but the mission was halted after signal loss and a sudden pressure spike at around 300 feet. Remarkably, the cave sustains a self-contained ecosystem with underground rivers and a primeval jungle, raising questions about energy sources and biological chains functioning without sunlight. Access is tightly controlled, with only a few hundred permits issued annually. Several geological fissures remain untouched due to collapse risks and unidentified toxic gases. Much of its underground topography is still classified, making Son Doong not just a natural wonder, but an incomplete zone of scientific data. The Waitomo cave system is famed for its surreal glow, produced by Arachnocampa luminosa larvae, creating an underground starry sky that draws thousands of visitors. Yet this glow is more than aesthetic. It's a predatory mechanism, with larvae releasing sticky threads and using a unique bioluminescent spectrum to lure prey. Researchers have observed inconsistent light intensity between cave sections, even under identical humidity and temperature, prompting questions about localized magnetic effects or mineral presence in the limestone. In 2001, a team recorded a mass blackout of glowworms, lasting over 6 hours in an area once known for high luminosity, a mystery still unsolved. While much of the cave is open to tourists, several deep pockets remain off-limits to preserve its fragile biological balance. Hidden deep within the Yucatan jungle, Chichén Itzá was once the ceremonial and astronomical heart of the Maya civilization, where stone structures aligned with extreme precision to celestial movements. The El Castillo pyramid creates the illusion of a serpent descending its staircase during the spring and autumn equinoxes, a phenomenon that continues to astonish researchers with its ancient astronomical accuracy. Beneath the site lies a vast network of caves and subterranean waterways, much still unexplored, fueling theories of sacrificial rituals or hidden sacred chambers. In 1960, excavations at the Cenote Sagrado uncovered numerous human remains, including children and warriors, though the full context and scale of the rituals remain unclear. Despite UNESCO World Heritage status, many underground sectors and passageways remain sealed, existing in the space between archaeology and legend. Teotihuacan was once among the largest cities of the ancient world, with a population possibly reaching hundreds of thousands around 300 AD. Yet the identity of its builders remains unknown. Structures like the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon align with key astronomical points, showcasing advanced cosmic observation skills. A tunnel beneath the Temple of the Feathered Serpent revealed thousands of artifacts made of gold, gemstones, and liquid mercury, a rare toxic substance tied to underworld rituals. Layers of mica, a mineral absent locally, were found in some underground structures, suggesting long-distance trade and unexplained technology. Built from volcanic rock and laid out in an astronomically precise grid, the city's design was far ahead of its time. Yet despite its vast scale and complexity, no written records have ever been discovered. If this journey has sparked your curiosity and touched your heart, leave a comment about the place that fascinated you most. Don't forget to like and share so this story can reach more explorers, and subscribe so we can keep opening doors to the world's untold mysteries together. Around the 12th century, the Rapa Nui people erected over 800 massive Moai statues on Easter Island, despite lacking metal tools or modern machinery. The methods used to transport and raise them remain debated, with theories ranging from rope dragging and wooden sleds to walking the statues upright. No written records survive, limiting scientific verification of these techniques. The Chilean government now restricts tourist numbers and length of stay to protect cultural heritage and prevent ecological damage. Lake Hillier is famed for its permanent pink hue, which remains unchanged even when water is removed. Theories focus on microbial activity and mineral interactions, with analysis revealing halophilic bacteria and Dunaliella salina algae. Yet no scientific model has fully explained why the colour remains stable under all light and temperature conditions. Today, access is limited to aerial viewing or specially approved boat tours, with direct water level research restricted. From forgotten shores and unforgiving deserts to ancient cities wrapped in legend, each destination we've explored is not just a point on a map, but a fragment of the story Earth has been whispering for ages. Some mysteries have found answers, while others still linger across centuries, defying both human intellect and patience. And perhaps it is this very unknown that keeps us moving forward, urging us to seek, to wonder, and to never stop exploring. If you want to continue discovering untold mysteries, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because the next video might change the way you see the universe.